January 3rd, 2024. My name is Leslie Jones. I will be sitting as Mayor Pro Tem for this meeting. We want to excuse Mayor Dallas Hakes from tonight's meeting. And we'll start by an invocation by Councilmember Garrett and a Pledge of Allegiance by Councilmember Carlson.
Our kind Father in heaven, we bow before you this evening. We're grateful for the many blessings we have. We're thankful for the holiday season that we were able to enjoy. We're grateful for this city and this community that we have to live in and the privilege it is to rub shoulders with each other. We're grateful for the opportunity to meet tonight and discuss these items that are on our agenda and to celebrate the people that have worked hard and have earned their goals. We pray that thou will bless us with thy spirit and guide us and direct us in our decisions and help us go throughout the rest of the week in safety. And we say these things in the name of thy Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. The audience, please rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And I want to first thank all of you. We have a packed house tonight. And little did we know that we would have so many people here for the swearing in of our new council members. So thank you all for joining us. We will start off with the oath of office ceremony, where the recently elected council members will be administered the oath of office, followed by the presentation of badges for the new Mapleton Fire and EMS graduates. That may be one of the agenda items that some of you may have shown up for tonight. So we'll start with the oath of office. Camille Brown will administer that.
Okay, come on down here. Raise your right arm. Repeat after me. I do solemnly swear. That I will support, obey, and defend. The Constitution of the United States. The Constitution of the State of Utah. And the laws and ordinances of Mapleton City. And that I will discharge the duties. Of my office. With fidelity. Thank you.
Okay, we will now move on to our the presentation of badges for the new Mapleton Fire and EMS graduates. Chief Glasgow.
Good evening, Council. Thanks for having us here. First, I'd like to recognize Captain Ryan Smith. I'm sure most of you know him. He is the gentleman that runs our fire academy and does an amazing job at it. So one of the things that we've been tasked with at Mapleton Fire is to bring in new volunteer firefighters. And a big component of that is finding people who want to get certified. And so in-house, Captain Ryan, over every A shift, puts on a fire academy. And we started with 13. Started with 13 last January. And he puts them through over 2,000 hours of training. So learning how to fight house fires, throw ladders, we bring out vehicles, we cut the cars, we have a live fire prop, we do a lot of coordinated training with the Utah Fire Rescue Academy. So basically an employee that comes and works for Mapleton can get about $9,000 worth of free training to work for us. And what we ask for them is they come and join our academy, they volunteer with us, they go through this process, which takes about a year, and they'll get a Fire 1 certificate, a Fire 2 certificate, a Hazmat Ops certificate, and a Hazmat Awareness certificate. And then we ask that they volunteer with us for 18 months. One of the unique things about Mapleton Fire is because we're a combination fire department, and we have so many different firefighters from all over Utah, we have a great mentorship program. And so as these young recruits come and work for us, they're getting great experience, they're getting mentored, and they're networking with firefighters from fire departments all over the state of Utah. And so, I mean, they could be working today with a captain from Orem who's working part-time at Mapleton. And then when it comes to apply for a job with Orem, they already have a foot in the door. So it's been beneficial for all of us. These employees, none of them live in town. They all have come from outside of our city. They stay at the fire station. They work shifts at the fire station from anywhere between $1 and $5 an hour. They stay there for 24-hour shifts. They're all at least working 4 shifts a month, and then they're also doing the fire academy on top of that. So Ryan is the man who makes this happen. He motivates the troops, he does the training, coordinates everything with the college. Just an outstanding employee, and I'm really grateful that we have him. This year at our Christmas party, he was nominated for multiple awards by his own peers because of his leadership and what an example he is. And so first I'd like to recognize Ryan Smith for all of his hard work tonight. So like I said, this process started a year ago. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears put in by these recruits and also by their family. Many of these people work full-time jobs. They work full-time for ambulance companies. They work full-time, all different kinds of jobs. They go to school full-time, and then they're doing this on their time off. It's pretty amazing to see the amount of dedication that we get out of these people and the hard work that they'll put in, and what a brotherhood and the camaraderie that we've created here at Mapleton to have a system like this work. I think this is the 3rd or 4th academy we've done. We're starting a new one this month. We have 15 people already in it, and so it's been a successful program for us from the get-go. So Ryan's going to call up all the individuals. We're going to have them line up here. And then if you guys weren't here last year, what we do is the front leather shield that's on the front of the helmet signifies that the person is off probation and they've earned all of their fire certs. And so a fire helmet, when you look at it without the leather, can you point to the shield so they can see it? So that front leather front is the part that they're earning tonight, and that lets us know when we have in the chaos of an emergency scene, we look at their helmets, and because of the color of the helmet, because of the leather front shield, we'll know what qualifications they have and what we can ask them to do safely on a scene. So this is a tradition of the fire service, is to earn your leather shield. It's a big monumental night for them tonight to earn this, and they can wear these helmets proud for the next 18 months knowing that they have all their certifications. We appreciate your support, council, and all that you guys have done for us. The money for training, the facilities, the staffing that we have wouldn't be possible without the support of all of you, so we're very grateful. So if we can have all of our cadets come up. Captains, you guys want to come up here and shake hands? A lot of you guys just line up in front of there because we don't have that much room. You guys want to take any pictures real quick, and then we'll walk down the line and shake hands.
I think it's beneficial to do a name with a face, so we'll start off with Cameron Ryder, firefighter Cameron Ryder. Congratulations. Firefighter Conrad Tremeyer. Firefighter Addie Edwards. Firefighter Jacob Titchen. Firefighter Colton Rigby. Firefighter Leslie Monar. Firefighter Russell Torgerson. Firefighter Dustin Loomis. Firefighter Ryan Giles, longest walk. Thanks, council. We appreciate you guys.
Thank you. Thank you for your entire department and those who are contributing to make Mapleton Fire what it is. So congratulations to all of the graduates. We'll now move on to our public forum, and seeing as no one has signed up for public forum, we'll move on to our consent agenda items. These items don't require any discussion. Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Okay, there's a motion to approve the agenda by Councilmember Carlson and a second by Councilmember Beck.
Carlson, yes.
Egbert, yes.
Beck, yes.
Jones, yes.
Garrett, yes.
Okay, we'll move on to our public hearing item. This is a consideration of a resolution amending the current fiscal year budget, 23-24 budget. Bryce is our finance director. I'll turn the time to you, Bryce.
All right. So I have sent the budget to council, and it has been made available to the public. So tonight I just wanted to hit on a few bullet points and give you the opportunity to ask any questions you might have. As you read through the budget, and as I pointed out in the email to you, we made some changes to our Pioneer Day budget, and we're moving that from the administration department into the recreation department, or I believe it was the recreation department. And we are purchasing up front this year's fireworks and the next 2 years worth of fireworks. So we've added some funds into there for that purchase. Public Works has some additional capital projects that they will be working on. They were already planned. We've just received some grant funding for those. So those are going to be attempted to be completed in this fiscal year. So we're amending the budget to add that expense. And then we updated our salary study and had that conversation with the Wage and Personnel Committee. And the budget includes one additional position for our Public Works Department. But as a point, we will not hire that position until further conversation with the Wage and Personnel to discuss that need and that position a little bit more. But we did budget for it, so if Wage and Personnel and the Public Works Department are able to make that one happen, then we have the budget to do that. And that is the summary of the budget. I wanted to turn the time over to you for the public hearing, and we can go from there.
Is there any, right, got a little distracted by my agenda on the computer. Is there anyone, we now have time for public comment on this topic. If there's anybody here that would like to make comments, you're welcome to approach the microphone, and please state your name. Okay, seeing as there is no public comment on this agenda item, we will open it up for the council for discussion or further questions or discussion.
I'll just pipe in. Several of us met on the Wage and Budget Committee and talked at length about each one of these items, and the entire thing was sent to everybody, so hopefully you had fun reading that. But I just wanted to say one thing about the salaries and wages. I know it's a tough time to be raising salaries this significantly, but we looked over lots and lots of numbers and comparisons, and we as a Wage and Budget Committee felt that the importance of taking care of our staff and making sure they feel valued, compared and throwing in the comparables around other cities in the county. We believe that it's not just wise, but it's our obligation to go ahead and allow these salary and wage raises. It seems like a tough pill to swallow, this much money, but I'm pretty behind it. I really think that our staff is awesome. They do a great job, and they need to be compensated equally.
I appreciate that, Theron. One of the concerns whenever we get a budget request is the impact on the taxpayer and how to use taxpayer dollars. And I think we're so effective, and the audits continue to be so good, the findings so good for the city because of the quality of people we have running each of our departments. And I think the most important investment we can have is in our people, and continue to do so. We've really had a luxury of having limited turnover, and especially when other communities, and especially with things like public safety, have a lot. And so, I appreciate all the study that's gone into leading up to this, that it's a data-driven decision, but I also will support the investment in people. So I appreciate the effort into this.
Thank you.
I've been through, I guess, a number of budget revisions, and the budgets, not on the committee, but as a councilman. And I think the money has always been used wisely. I think we have good staff, and I think we need to treat them like a good staff, that we do appreciate them. It's important for our city to have good people representing him behind the scenes. A lot of people don't see what goes on and what people face with the challenges that we do have in the city, and we have good people that take care of us, and I really appreciate what they do.
I appreciate those comments, and as a member of the Budget Committee, these are not easy decisions that we make, but there are significant costs to not being competitive with our wages. And as we weigh out the pros and cons of all of those factors, I do appreciate the comments that have been shared, and there is a lot of thought that goes into these discussions. And I appreciate the effort, the actions of Bryce and in adding to those conversations and helping us to look at it from all angles. So thank you. So do we have
Yeah, I'm also in agreement, and we'll make a recommendation to amend the fiscal year 2023-2024 budget.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion to approve by Councilmember Beck and a second by Councilmember Garrett.
Egbert, yes.
Beck, yes.
Jones, yes.
Garrett, yes.
Carlson, yes.
Great. Now we'll go on to our discussion item. This is a consideration of a request to eliminate a private park in the Pleasant View subdivision located at approximately 9th South and 1350 West. Sean, do you have more details?
Yeah, thank you, members of the council. So back in 2006, the city council approved a rezone for about 22 acres that went from A2 to RA1, or excuse me, to PRC3 with a TDR receiving site overlay. part of the PRC proposal was to have a half-acre park that would be owned and maintained by the neighborhood HOA. And the PRC zoning text indicated that if the HOA were to dissolve, that the property should transfer to the city. The city would maintain it and essentially bill the property owners for the maintenance. So the HOA has recently dissolved, and so the homeowners are trying to decide what to do. Their preference would be to be able to deed the property to either one or both of the neighboring property owners and just allow them to absorb that park space into their residential lots. So this is the aerial of Pheasant View. You can see on the back screen here the open space parcel. It's kind of tucked into the corner. This is a fenced-in retention basin, and these are the two lots that potentially would absorb that park space. This is a close-up of the plat, just indicating that it was intended to be a non-buildable park. It again shows that it was kind of a flag park parcel. And then this is a picture of the entrance as it is now. So the options that we're really looking for some discussion on is, one, would you be supportive of the elimination of the park piece and the zoning references to it in the PRC3 zone? Typically, staff would not be supportive of eliminating open space. Obviously, open space is important to the community, and amenities are important. In this case, given the original design of this kind of flag portion, that it was tucked into a corner, it seems a little the plan wasn't ideal to begin with. And the community really has not benefited much from it, at least the neighborhood, and they're the ones who are looking to remove that open space piece. So staff is open to this, where I think in most cases we would not be, but that's part of the reason, is to be able to have that discussion with the council. Alternatively, we could look at the city maintaining it and assessing a bill to the property owners, if that was the approach that the council preferred to have. I believe there's a couple of representatives here from Pheasant View that would be available to speak to this as well.
And I'll seek guidance on this. I understand this is not a public hearing item, so
I was going to request a call in audible also, as they may not be aware of procedures to have signed up for a public forum. I would recommend we hear from them at this point as well.
Yeah, they're
Can we-
essentially, they're
okay,
the
that's fine.
applicant in
Okay.
this case, so.
Okay, that's fine. So we will amend this is a discussion item, but we will amend those rules and allow for comments from those in the subdivision to just, and please understand, this is simply a discussion item for us to discuss, right? And not, no vote on this, no vote tonight on this topic from us. So please approach the microphone and state your name.
Council members, I'm Darren Cummings. I'm the current president of the Pheasant View HOA. We have also Vice President Ben Hickman with us, and then we also have the Secretary Joriel Howcroft with us. So we have recently met together as an HOA. There's been a while and long-term coming with this, but we met together with them talking about the options to be able to dissolve the HOA. So we have voted to dissolve it, but then we ran across this roadblock. Currently, that Lot 27 wasn't even in our ownership as an HOA. As we started doing the legal background checks of everything with it, we found that it was actually owned by an individual here in town that was part of the original subdivision when they started it, but no ownership was actually transferred over into the HOA during all this time, which is very unusual when it comes to an HOA paying for property that's not even ours. So we did our due diligence. We went and had a quitclaim deed transferred over to the HOA, so now Lot 27 is in our ownership. The membership met last month and voted that if we could sell Lot 27 to the two owners on the sides, or the owner on Lot 11, and then the owner on Lot 12 was looking on maybe buying a little bit of portion of that too. Just to be able to absorb that so we can get out of the HOA. Our problem is with the HOA is that when it was organized, it was wanting to make sure that all the homes looked the same and that had some sort of a structure to it. But now that everybody's built in there, except for one lot, they're finding that it's more difficult to sell that property if they want to sell their homes or whatever else because of the HOA. With this being very landlocked, I only know of maybe 2 or 3 of our neighbors that actually go in there and use that, and they'll use their little electric scooters or electric bikes to ride around inside of there, maybe play a football game maybe once or twice a year in there. So it really hasn't been used as a recreational lot. It's just been maintained as a grass open space. So our goal behind this is to find a way to amend 18.100 and 18.120, I believe is what it is, to allow for us to be able to sell that lot to the lot owner next door and to be able to dissolve the HOA. So that's what the discussion is with today. I'd like to ask any of the board members if there's anything else they have to say about it.
The main use for that right now.
Joriel, will you come up to the microphone, please? Thank you.
Joriel Howcroft, sorry. The main use for that lot, honestly, has just been a puppy wasteland. So it really hasn't been useful.
So what our purpose is today is to find out what discussion needs to happen to be able to amend that, to possibly remove the ordinance off of that restriction, to be able to dissolve the HOA, dissolve this lot, to completely get out of any issues with it and go from there.
Has there been any, I'm assuming everybody in the neighborhood in the HOA has been notified of this and there's no opposition? I mean, everybody understands how it would transpire, the proceeds would be distributed accordingly to the members of the HOA, and you're not seeing any, clearly if there was opposition, I assume I would hope that somebody would be here tonight, right?
Correct. We had a HOA meeting on December 14th, and in that HOA meeting, it was voted. We had legal counsel there. We had it all done through our attorneys, and everything was done legitimately through that, so we have all of the information with it. Yep, here's the paperwork for us, Findley and Associates. So the vote happened, and we had a majority of votes saying that they would like to dissolve this HOA. However, we're tired of paying dues. We're tired of doing all this other stuff, and so our goal would be is that we could be able to dissolve this, take the money that's being the purchase of the lot, get it to the landowners, get rid of that altogether, and not have to pay any more dues to a green space that's just a lawn being mowed. By the way, it's costing us between the utilities on it, which would be water, and lawn maintenance for the year is over $8,000 a year just to do that. And, you know, we're paying $25, $30 a month as an HOA owner to just have the lawn mowed and watered. So we're kind of really wanting to get rid of it.
Having spoken with several members of that neighborhood and being adjacent to it and a city park user myself, I see very limited tangible benefit to the layout of that to the community. I personally am not inclined to exercise the city's right to take that property. It would be more of a hassle to even bill the HOA. So based on that feedback, I would be very supportive as we're having this discussion to either modify the zone to allow them to acquire this as private property. I don't think this is desirable for the city.
And I'll pipe in. I love open space. I love the general plan that it really talks a lot about open space and that it's one of their goals, but I don't see this in the same category as that. I don't see any value to the public, so I'm supportive of that number one option as well.
I remember when the neighborhood was built, and I thought that was quite frankly a very ridiculous use of quote-unquote open space at the time. The architectural control aspect of the HOA, I remember one specific house that was being built that had some confrontation with the ACC, but that was, I think about that every time I pass the house in question. But no, I think this is a perfect example of ticking a box of quote-unquote open space to meet a very base requirement to show that a council in the past was supportive of open space, but it serves virtually no public or HOA benefit. So I agree that in this instance, I would be very supportive of that, as long as the zone text in future application is not changed. So amended for this instance only.
My only question or concern is, let's say hypothetically, one neighbor buys the whole thing, that grows the lot to a maximum size, right? Are there any negative repercussions of that, Sean, on what possibly future development or additional buildings that could be built on it because of the extra square footage?
Yeah, the zone already caps the number of lots, residential lots, so they couldn't conceivably subdivide and build another structure. But yes, if they merged it into their lot, they'd have the same ability to build accessory buildings like you would on any other lot. They do have, I mean, you can see there's easements there that would have to be maintained as open. You couldn't build over the easements, things like that. But yes, if they absorbed it, somebody could put another barn or a shed or something on it.
Yeah. And based on the rule of square footage and percentage of buildings on a lot, the amount of building space could be bigger and
Correct.
and more, but that's, to me, I'm thinking through this, that's probably the worst case scenario in this instance, so.
And you look at the frontage there, there's only 30 feet entrance into that lot. So in order to even have any type of building, which it also says a non-buildable space there, but there's just not enough frontage for any type of residential stuff to be put there.
Right, yeah, I'm not thinking that, I'm thinking more of a wider driveway and a big, huge garage with a mother-in-law apartment above it, gargantuan building that neighbors are gonna complain about. As an accessory building, not a secondary home.
I'm Benjamin Hickman. So even if he did, we sell that lot to this other joint lot, there are other lots in the neighborhood that are just equally as big. So that could happen.
Right.
It's not an anomaly in the neighborhood, yeah.
And the way this was designed originally allowed for no public parking. So anytime someone has to park in there, they have to park right in front of the other cul-de-sac houses, which it's very limited. There's like maybe 2 places that you could park in front of each house. So it's very, I mean, it's very narrow, very squished in there and stuff. So the way it was designed, so appreciate it.
It's pretty rare, Theron, we asked the question, would that lot be too big?
No, I'm not saying too big, I'm just saying what are the negative repercussions of a lot owner being able to build a bigger building just because they now have more square footage. Literally, that's the worst case scenario in my mind, which is not that big a deal, so.
Yeah, with it being landlocked. So my next question would be is where do we go from now? If we have a concurrence of saying, hey, this lot may not fit the need of the city, what's the process?
I have a question, maybe, I wasn't clear. The right-of-ways needs to remain?
The easements would need to, yeah. I mean, there's a
Utility
there's a utility running through there.
Sell this to 2 people, like the 2 neighbors, then there'll be a new property line. Will that also be an easement, so we'll still have then we'll add another easement?
Yeah, they'll have to decide how that potentially will be divided or merged, and then we'll have to review it with Public Works to ensure they have access to maintain any of those utilities. So basically
Are there utilities in the easement right now?
Yes, in the storm drain easement, yes. And the irrigation on the back.
Okay, so they can't really be erased.
Yeah. So the process is we would have to go to Planning Commission, City Council to amend the ordinance to strike the references to the park. And we'd have to amend the plat with whatever properties are involved. So if it was just lot 11 and lot 27, that would be it. If it's all 3, there would be an amendment that would just show how the boundary is going to.
Well, currently lot 11 is the one that's got the real estate purchase agreement with it.
Okay.
So lot 12 does not. He's expressed interest in it, but as far as it goes right now, lot 11 is the one that would be purchasing it.
So we can work with you on what that needs to look like. But it's, the amended plat's simple. It's just an engineer or a surveyor redrawing that, and then it gets recorded.
Okay. So as far as the vote goes or anything else like that, we just have city council agreement and then it moves forward that way?
Yeah, it's got to go to Planning Commission first, and then it comes to City Council. So there'll be technically two public hearings.
At that time.
Okay,
But
perfect.
it's sounds pretty unlikely that there'll be any opposition from the council on it.
Okay.
You did mention we hate giving up open space. I don't see how this gives up open space.
Yeah, I mean, it's technically giving up a park space, but the space is going to be used.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought.
That was the reason, for my questioning was right now it's open space. If one of the lots absorb it and build a big, huge building on it,
Exterior.
then it is technically taking up open space, but I support this. This is, to me, this is, circumstances very understandable.
Okay. Well,
Just
thank
out
you
of-
for your
just-
time.
Just out of my curiosity, the cash value of your HOA increases and you dissolve it, is the plan to just equally distribute the cash value to
Correct.
each?
Correct.
each
After
owner?
all the legal fees have been paid.
If there's any cash value left, right?
Exactly. One other question that Joriel brought up to me was, as far as doing this, is there any fees incurred that we need to take back to the membership to talk about with this, as far as changing the planning and zoning or anything
Not
else
from
like
the
that?
city.
No, we can do this as a city-initiated one
Okay,
it's minimal, so.
okay, perfect. Perfect. Anything else?
So, what would be the timeline for this, your guys' meetings and stuff, so we kind of know what's going on? I mean,
Yeah, planning commission would meet, we have to notice it, and there's a 2-week noticing period. So they're probably, planning commission soonest they could review it would be probably January 25th. And then it could come on the city council meeting, their first meeting in February, which would be February 7th.
okay,
Probably the quickest the ordinance could be changed. We can talk offline after this, and there may be a way to proceed with everything else, since the zoning is kind of a technicality at this point.
okay.
But I'll talk with you guys, and we'll get with, Corey and I can get with our legal team and see what the ramifications are. If you move forward with the design of however you're gonna design this while we're going through
Okay.
the amendment,
So Sean, one point of clarification, who will be doing the engineering drawing?
they would need to do
They would.
that.
So that would be a cost that they would incur, would be that, getting your engineer to drop the final plat, amended plat.
And that'd be between the HOA and the purchaser. Yeah.
Okay, anything else that we need to do?
No, pretty simple.
Okay,
Yeah, and I've got Darren's contact, so we can be in touch. Make sure we get you squared away quick.
okay, thank you.
Great, thank you. The discussion items like this are just a great opportunity to just have some discussion as a council, which ultimately, in my opinion, expedites the process, or it reveals that there might be some opposition or that needs to be overcome in some way before you go through all of that effort to bring something for a vote. So we appreciate you coming, and thanks for putting this on the agenda, Sean. Okay, with that, we will move on to administrative reports. We'll start here with Sean.
Nothing for me.
Nothing for me, just thank you for your support. It's very much appreciated.
Yeah, the only thing that I was gonna cover is we're up in the canyon, digging away, doing power and fiber up to the chlorination building, and then redoing the chlorination building right now, so. On the
Weather's in
spring
your
to well.
favor, isn't it, or is
It is, yeah. Yeah, I don't know whether to want.
Last year it wasn't good.
Yeah, I really want a very specific weather pattern so that we have enough snow for our, all the water that we want to come out of the springs, but not stop us from doing the projects that we can get it done and get that water from the springs, so, yep.
I mentioned our seniors are planning their winter ball coming up in January. I don't know how many were interested in it, but they always do a nice job, so you're all invited. The transfer station is coming along quite well, still on tap for sometime in March. We don't have an exact date, but we're starting to do more planning on bringing that about, so far so good. And appreciate your attendance at our visit that we did there 1, 2, 3 weeks ago, whatever. Thank you.
That was a great visit, Reed. That really was interesting. Thank you.
I think it'll be our new skate park.
Before we start.
I'm kidding,
blowing
not
it.
kidding. Just a couple event reminders. Don't forget the league's, the locals day on the Hill on the 17th. Is anybody else going besides me? Good answer, considering Carson Eilers from the league is sitting in the audience right now. No pressure. Shout out. Tomorrow there is Representative White's open house here too. Also the legislative session starting, so you'll hear me whine about things in the near future. And then on February 6th, the Community Preparedness Committee has our digital safety event here. So that's a free event for the community. It'll be some really great training. I'm looking forward to it. We have other events coming up, but I'll defer to the next person.
The MYCC's year is coming to a close, so there'll be a change in youth leadership and a change in adult leadership. They've all worked really hard to make a good year for the MYCC, so just want to publicly thank the adult and youth leaders that have been involved in that. Sarah Winward is the outgoing director, and the incoming is Mackenzie Boring, and we've had a few conversations with her and really excited for this next year. Yeah, just want to again thank MYCC for all that they've done.
Great, thank you. No comment, no report.
Same here, nothing.
Thank you for your support for the salary study. That's great.
We'll see if Logan covers mine. Got a couple of just Parks and Rec calendar items, so.
Logan, your logo for our Burn Bright event looks pretty awesome.
Sounds like today's test went well.
I did, you spoiled it.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, you had they tested
Come on,
it?
Casey.
Oh, man.
First, I just want to echo what Bryce and Camille said. Thank you for the continued support. It really means a lot to us. As Casey mentioned, we did do a test burn today. We did 18 trees, and it was awesome. So we're really excited for more trees than 18. We learned a lot of really good things. Why we want to do the test burn was just to kind of see, parameter and have safety measures in place, how far people could be away. So it was a little bit, self-indulgent so we could see it, but then also to actually learn some data points that we could use. So we were able to walk around and have our staff, kind of see how hot it was and get some measurements and stuff. So it'll be a really, really fun event. We've got some really good things planned for it, and we hope there'll be good attendance for it.
I need to ask, though, you burned 18 trees. How many are going to be ready for that event? You didn't burn all of them, right?
No, we did not. It's hard to tell, obviously, however many trees are out there we're gonna try to take, but we're guessing probably 85-ish.
85-ish?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Is what we'll be for this year.
Can we steal some from Springville and Spanish?
Next year, that's our plan. So yeah, it's hard to tell. We went off of previous year's data with how many we took to the dump, but there's so many variables on how many can fit in a dumpster.
So it's just a matter of just collecting them for
Yeah.
the next 2 weeks. Got
Yep,
it.
and we've
Okay.
had our A-frames up since the week before Christmas, just over here on the west side, letting community members know about it, which in the past, we've had dumpsters here, so I think it's been a little bit easier. You don't have to chuck it up into the dumpster.
So people are just dropping it off right here, okay.
Yeah, and then we just take our equipment and put it over, and then we play Tetris with it and make it into a big fun Christmas tree. So, the next one I wanted to just give a report on, we're starting a new program. So this year we split our basketball season up. We did our 1st through 4th grade on the front half, starting before Christmas, and then did a 2-week program after. And then our older league, 5th through 12th grade, will start 2nd week in January and then go till about the 1st week in March. There's a couple reasons we did that. One of them was we just needed some more time to help train some referees. So on the front half, we have refs that are training, and then that gets them ready for the second half. And then secondly, we're just running out of gym space. We're about a 10 to 11% increase this year in participants, which is consistent, obviously, with move-ins and people coming. So that's always a good thing, but just trying to find different ways to make sure we can maximize how much space we have in our programs. But with that came an opportunity that our staff came up with a fun idea for that 1st through 4th grader demographic that gets done with basketball and it's still winter and needs to get some wiggles out. So we're doing a new come and play program. It'll be in Memorial Hall. It'll incorporate a little bit of our rec and roll trailer. We'll set up the Gaga pit, 9 square. We'll do some floor hockey. It'll be January 22nd, February 5th, February 26th, and March 4th, which are all Monday evenings for 2 hours. It's just a free event. Let the kids come in an indoor space, get out of the cold, and let them just come and play around and enjoy it. So we're excited for that one. I think it'll be a fun thing. And that is it. I don't know if that covered what you had.
Just have a question for you.
Yes.
Who gets to light the Christmas trees on fire?
I was
a
wondering
battle
that
right
too,
now.
Reed. I was wondering that
But
same
we
thing.
tried some techniques
Gotta have
today.
a contest or
Multiple
something.
people.
We tried a bow and arrow today to
Oh,
light
that'd be
it, to
cute.
kind of see, you know.
Can we have
So-
a drawing or something? Could that be a prize?
I think it's gonna turn into that.
Hey,
Yeah, can we pay?
Yeah.
We could just
That
pull
count as
rank. We could just pull rank and it's the council all lights it together.
Answer your question, we don't know yet. Everybody's still fighting and pulling and prying.
So there's, you're saying there's a,
There's a chance, yeah, there's a chance. Let's
Bow
go.
and arrow.
And just a reminder, that's on January 19th, and it'll be right here.
okay,
So 5:30 to 7:30.
great.
Thanks, Logan.
Corey, you're good? Okay, wonderful. Well, we will entertain a motion to adjourn.
so moved.
All in favor?
Yes.
Garrett?
Yes.
Aye. Joan, yes. Okay, have a good night.
So let it be.